Shalom to you all, and we are learning today Parashat Vayera, chapter 18 in the book of Bereshit, Genesis, and it is a very significant parasha, especially nowadays because we are really living in a very, very special time in the history of humanity. The world is changing. If you follow my lectures in the last few months, the world is going through very, very deep changes, strong changes, sometimes very abrupt, sometimes even very violent. And one of the symptoms of this time is people feel lost, pressure, grief, terrible pain, mental pain, and this is normal. However, you're not supposed to stay in that place. And when you feel so deeply upset, you need to do something about it. And the parasha is about the revelation of the Creator to Abram. Abram never had a revelation of that magnitude before. That's already verse 1, chapter 18. Vayera elav Adonai be'elonei mareh. And God revealed himself to Abraham in this place that is called Elonei Mamre. V'hu yoshev petach haoel, and he's sitting in front of the tent, the opening of the tent, kechom hayom, in the heat of the day. Since when the Torah is giving us a weather description for any kind of a revelation? Now, background, in the previous parasha, Abram is leaving Haran, which is in Turkey of today, going all the way down to the land of Canaan. God reveals to him, promising him the land, promising him that he's going to have a son from Sarah, that is going to inherit the land and to lead the message to the whole world. Now, Abram had to circumcise himself and his household, and that is how the previous parasha, Lech Lecha, is finished. And we are starting now with the revelation of God to Abraham in Elonei Mamre. Okay, so this is the one of the major events of this parasha. God is being revealed to Abraham in a revelation he never experienced before. And when we talk about revelation with the word Vayera, the verb Reish Aleph Hey, which means to see, reveal, to see, we are talking about prophecy, a high level prophecy. Abraham has a prophecy that no human being experienced till that day. And then the story evolves with the appearance of the three angels. Abraham thinks they are humans, and he runs and he serves them. Here is in the middle of a prophecy, right? We'll come to it. And they reveal to him three things. One, they heal him. Two, they tell him that within a year Sarah is going to be a mother for a son, and he's going to name him Isaac, Yitzchak. Okay, and then the story and the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Three angels, three messages. Okay, so we have here, it continues with the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. After that, the birth of Isaac is coming. We have the birth of Isaac in this parasha, very significant event. We have the struggle between Abraham and the Philistines, that they do everything to destroy whatever he's building, and he continues to build again and again till the seventh time they realize if he can't fight them you should join them. And that happens on the seventh well, and that happens in Beersheba. Beersheba, if you heard about the name of the city of the south of Israel, Beersheba means the seventh well. That's a well that Abraham dug, where the Philistines realized he can't destroy his wells anymore, and they just wanted to join him. Chapter 22 is the binding of Isaac, another very significant story in the history of the creation of humanity. This story of the binding of Isaac is completing the story of the revelation in chapter 18. So let us try to understand what is the message for us, especially in our days. The message is very clear, very powerful, and let us go to the Zohar of this parasha in order to get this message, because this is the message of healing. This is the message of growth. This is the message of consolation, understanding, and basically moving on with our spiritual growth. So let's start with the Zohar. The Zohar of this parasha, verse 1 in Hasulam commentary. רבי חייא פתח, הניצנים נראו בארץ, עת הזמיר הגיע וקול התור נשמע בארצנו. Rabbi חייא opens and he quotes from the Song of Songs chapter 2. The buds have been seen in the land, the time of the nightingale has come, and we hear the turtle dove in the land. This is the verse, the way most translations translate it into English, but it's all a code, like the whole Song of Songs. It's full of codes. הניצנים נראו בארץ, כד ברק וצ'ר בכו אלמה, יהב בערה כל חילה דתחזה לה, וכל אהבה בערה ולאף יקת איבין בעלמה, עד יתברא אדם, כיוון יתברא אדם, כל היתחזה בעלמה, והערה גליעת איבה וחילה תתפקדו בה. So, Rabbi חייא is teaching us, when it says that the buds have been seen on the earth, and it's a time of the nightingale, there's another way. It's not just a song about the springtime and how nice it is. Look, this is the Tanakh. We're talking about the secrets of the universe. We're not just having here a nice romantic song about the springtime. Okay, so let's just try to understand what's in it for us. So Rabbi חייא goes to something we learn in Genesis chapter 2, and I spoke about it when I spoke about Parashat Bereshit, Genesis, and it says, Ka'asher bara, when the Creator created the universe, and He gave in the earth all the power the earth deserves or needs. Everything was there in the earth the way it was created, in total perfection. Like, this is the Creator. He creates everything in total creation. However, as we said clearly before, nothing came out, nothing grew, nothing sprouted. Fruits haven't been seen till Adam was created. Okay? Why? Because we've explained something you can today understand if you study quantum physics and the uncertainty principle. When there is no consciousness to perceive anything of the creation, is that thing existing or not? It's a doubt. It's very hard for human mind to understand it, but it speaks about that the mind, the thought, the awareness, the perception of reality determines reality. There's no reality unless there is an awareness that perceives that reality, which means the perception will finalize the materialization of anything of the creation, which means the creator maybe created 99% of everything, maybe 99.9999%. But the way it manifests in our physical realm, it needs the participation of our perception, which means if we want to have any kind of control of what's happening to us or in the world around us, it all follows perception, which means human perception creates reality. And just think about it. If there is a perception in society that they call it today, I think they do, especially in the US, they do kind of a poll every once in a while, like every week or a month, I don't remember. What is the perception of the public towards economy? And why is that important? Because they know when the perception is positive, then the market will go up, then productivity will go up, and it means that everything will be well. However, when perception is negative, the market will go down, economy will go down, productivity will go down. Which means if you control people's perception of reality, you control the market. If you control the market and people's perception, you control the government. So who controls reality? Who controls the world? The ones who control perception. And that's why you see that everywhere you go, the major power are the ones who hold control over the media. And the social media, the same thing. You will see that there are some entities who invest huge amount of money in controlling the social media by creating either a trend of hatred, feisty mood, whatever. It's an art, it's a science. Human perception creates reality. Okay? So that's why, as long there was no human perception, the earth did not yield any fruits, nothing grew, not even a shrub. כיוון שנברא אדם, since when Adam was created, everything was revealed. Which means the earth revealed its fruits, its powers, and now they came into fruition, into manifestation. That's why it says the buds have been seen in the land. When will you see the buds? The buds is when there is a flowering fruits and stuff like this. And therefore, we continue with verse 2. כן זה לא נתנו השמיים כוחות לארץ עד שבא אדם. And also the earth, the physical reality, cannot live, transform, create, okay, go through all what the earth is doing unless the heavens are feeding forces into the land, the spiritual realm, the unseen land, okay, the unseen reality, the heavens. Okay, we're not talking about physical sky. When it says the heaven and the earth, we speak about the invisible reality, the reality beyond our senses, and we all know that the reality beyond our senses, even scientifically, is most of reality. You know, leave alone anything of spirituality. Okay? Do we see radio waves? No. How many from all radio and electromagnetic wavelength that are surrounding us or going through us? How much of it do we or are we capable to perceive with our senses? Very minute. Okay, what about, can we see atoms, electrons, photons, any other radiations? No, we are incapable of seeing it, sensing it anyway. which means how much of physical reality known to man today can we perceive with our senses? Nothing almost. Very, 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 very small. Okay? So we understand that we live in the world of illusion, because whatever we perceive as reality is a very small fraction of the true reality. I'm just talking about the physical reality that science agrees to right now. According to science, we perceive only a small fraction. What about the part of reality science did not discover yet? Remember, subatomic particles are known to man, to humanity, only not too long, more than 100 years, 150 years. That's nothing in the history of humanity. So what are we going to reveal? What is going to be revealed to science? Science has no idea yet, okay? Because the truth, reality is much beyond imagination. Whoever studied the history of science in the last 150 years, not even 150, maybe 130, 40 years. So the heavens are feeding, giving power to the earth. Now we understand, because what we see as a physical reality has no existence unless subatomic powers, the atomic, the strong force, the weak force, our senses are incapable of realizing them, but without them, the earth is not existing. What other forces that were not revealed yet to science are still feeding our reality? Okay? Just speaking about the Higgs field, for instance, or what they call the godly particle. This is known only, they think they have a proof for it. I don't know if it's really a proof, only the last 11 years. This is nothing. So what are we going to reveal? So all of it did not really manifest itself. It was only in what the scientists call superposition, in a potential energetical state, and it materialized when Adam came to this world, which means when there was this creation that is called a human being with the ability to be aware of his perception. Okay, so we spoke about before, why is this introduction very important? Because it's again preparing us to take responsibility for the way we think, which means we are not supposed to allow others to determine our perception of reality. The same way that we are not allowed, we know that you can't allow anyone, just anyone, coming out from the street into your home and do whatever they want in your kitchen, in your living room, in your restroom, wherever. You can't do that. You can't do that. It's impossible. Why? And you feel like horrible feeling if you come home and you see the door open and people coming and going and you don't know them. That's a horrible, horrible feeling. Now, but this is not as important as allowing people's foreign ideas penetrating your perception. You know, a house, a home, furniture can come and go. But what determines your life as success or failure is your perception of reality. This is the most holy of holies of our existence, of the definition of our identity. You can't allow anyone to come in and do whatever that he wants in your mind and heart. You have to watch it. Who comes in and who is not coming in. You have to watch what you see, what you listen to, what you have to be really careful about censoring. All of that, and you have to really work hard about your identity, because that's your main treasure, you lose that, you're defiled. It's like you allow everybody knows they can come in, do whatever they want in your house. They can come into the fridge, they can take whatever they want. If they see a nice picture on the wall, they take it. If they feel like they can bring garbage from anywhere, dump it in your living room, in your bedroom, on your bed. It's worse than that. Allowing people's stuff to come into your perception and change it without you taking responsibility for your identity. And therefore, if you continue, to understand the power of a human being. So, after that, what does it mean it's a time of the nightingale? And the Zohar continues to explain to us the code. Zamir means, in Hebrew, it's a nightingale, but it means the one who sings. And the one who sings, who has the power really to sing? Human beings. To sing with words. To sing in front of the Holy Blessed be He. We can praise, we can think, we can pray and ask. That's the way it's called prayers. Without prayers, we create, that's one of the strongest tools of creating our reality. Either it's prayers you make up because of your needs, or you use psalms or other prayers. Simply, you have to be really responsible for that, because what does it mean a human being is here? There's a perception, there's a reality. Now, if you praise and you're always thankful, scientific research is saying your life will be much, much better. You will be healthier, luckier, just because daily you are thankful to the Creator, you're thankful for everything you've got, you're thankful for the things you didn't get yet, but you're going to get, and you make your wishes. And that goes together with the creation of humanity. So that did not exist before Adam was created, says the Zohar. When Adam was created, all of it came into being. However, verse 4, אחר שחטא, after Adam sinned, נסתלק הכל מהעולם ונתקללה הארץ. Everything was gone, and the earth was cursed. As it says, the earth will be cursed because of you. Verse 5 in the Zohar Perush HaSulam, בא נוח לעולם, and then Noach came, ותיקן קרדומות ופצירות בעולם. Noach created a change, a transformation. He created a tikkun, a correction, another higher level of human perception of having the ability to protect from all the negativity that is around. Noah created it. Remember that we said before that the word an ark in Hebrew, teva, means also a word, which means what really protects people is the words they speak, which means you speak words of love, grace, thankfulness, anything that is with the purpose of bringing enlightenment to the world around you. That is what creates for you your ark. Okay? Also, later on, when we speaking, and now that brings us to the end of Parashat Lech Lecha. Abraham is going through a circumcision, and circumcision is Brit Milah. Brit means the covenant, Milah means the word. Ark of the covenant, Noah's ark, and we spoke about it in Parashat Noach, the same concept, but now it is upgraded. Why? Because Noach did his job. He secured the continuing of humanity. However, he got drunk and his children went on sinning, idol worshipping, till Abraham came to the world 10 generations later. So when Abraham came to the world, verse 6, כיוון שבאברהם מיד הניצנים נראו בארץ. Since Abraham came to the world, again the buds could be seen again. What does it mean? The forces, the hidden forces of the creation in the earth could be revealed again because Abraham corrected, brought into manifestation those ideas that came with Adam and were lost because of the sin. Abraham brought it back into power. And then the word zamir, we said this is singing, praising. But the word zamir in Hebrew means also cutting, like with scissors. This is the circumcision. Zamir means, so it's a double meaning, and now you can get it. To cut away the foreskin. כריתת העורלה. So, כיוון שהגיע זמנו, שהברית נמצא באברהם, since that time has come that Abraham accepted the covenant. And what is the covenant? It's the acceptance of a higher authority with the laws, with the values that are above human thinking and physical senses. That is Abraham's discovery. Okay? And the moment he was ready for that, then that was the time to remove the foreskin. That symbolized removing the negativity of that was created after the sin of Adam. The removal of that negativity, that's why it's called in Hebrew not circumcision but brit, covenant. It's like you cannot just do an operation, remove the foreskin. That's not a covenant. A covenant is the acceptance of rules that are stronger than your urges, that your body needs, or your opinions. Only when Abram circumcised himself, then all of that power that was created in the creation was hidden after the sin, was somehow suppressed. Those forces were able right now to start sprouting, budding. And because of that, it unleashed that prophecy, says the Zohar, VaYera elav Adonai. And God revealed himself to him. Abraham is finding himself in a revelation no human ever experienced from the time of the creation of Adam till that moment. And in that revelation, he could see everything. That's why the word VaYera, and he revealed, he could see the sighting. Then the world could finally exist. Till that moment, the world was in a kind of a superposition. It was existing, on the verge of existing or falling apart. Why? There was a purpose for the creation of the world. What's the purpose? What is the purpose of the creation? The purpose of the creation, if you go to the greatest Kabbalist from Rabbi Shimon in the Zohar and on along the generations, is that the great endless will that is emanating from the Creator himself is about one thing only: to share good with his creatures. What does that mean? It means that we humans were created with a calling to be co-creators, to celebrate all the miracles, all the treasures, all the greatness of the creation. Without that, there's no reason for the world to exist. So, till the existence of Abraham, till Abraham circumcises himself and reveals that purpose in the world, if the purpose of the creation that we humans will be able to experience the bliss, the pleasure, and the joy of realizing the creation, if that is not manifesting, there's no reason for the creation. So if humanity is only about suffering and misery, there's no purpose for the creation. The creation is void, is in a state of void. So the moment Abraham reaches that revelation, now the creation is not in a state of superposition. It is viable. It is alive. It is in existence. Finally, the creation has a purpose, and is because there is a brain, a human being that got the purpose, got the width of the purpose, and he can experience that greatness and enjoy it. Now, it's like the buds can open up, and the creation can, and the show can really start. And this is why the speech, והדיבור של הקדוש ברוך הוא היה בהתגלות אליו, that's why the speech of the Creator can be revealed finally to Abraham. So, now, so this is very important. So what do we do over here? We have to realize that if we want to be part of that movement that is basically the purpose of the creation, you have to join Abraham in his journey. And if you do not join Abraham in his journey, you are off the road. You are basically not really in a state of existence. And let me explain. When Rabbi Zakluria, the Arizal, teaches us about the creation, it's already in the beginning of his teachings in the Tree of Life, the book of the Tree of Life. It says you should know that before anything was created, there was an endless light filling up all of reality. Every word that I'm saying is a whole study by itself. And it says there was no void, there was no empty air, there was no emptiness. Everything was one and fulfilled. And what does it mean? And one of the things about air, empty air, Rabbi Ashlag is explaining to us in a very clear way. We have to understand that the creation was created for one purpose, that we are part of the creation. We are the vessel to receive God's infinite light. And that infinite light is called the light of wisdom. The light of wisdom means the essence of life, essence of everything. Nothing can exist without that life force that is called the light of wisdom. It's the life force of everything. How much light force is there? Endless. And it's shining endlessly. However, during the creation, after everything was totally complete in one point, singularity, in which the light filled up all of the creation and everything was one, the only way you can explain to a human brain about that everything, the light of the creation and the creation were one complete thing, full, without any way of even understanding. The only way you can describe it as one point. Why? Because one point means there are no dimensions like width, length, height. There are no 3Ds. One point has no dimensions, and not even time. One point means that everything is one and there's nothing but that. The moment you have 2 points, it means it's finite. Only one point is somehow related to the infinite. Not that everything was 1 point, but to tell our brain something bigger than a point is already finite. Because you can define between the point in the right, the point in the left, it's already a definition. It's not infinite anymore. So when we are one with each other and with the endless light, that's that 1 point before the Tzimtzum, before what we call the Big Bang, before reality came into being like we know it. But reality came into being like we know it in order to allow us, humans, to be co-creators in re-establishing that oneness, but now from our point. And that means that, yes, the infinite light of pleasure, wisdom, awareness, power, all what we call energy, is called the light of wisdom in the Kabbalistic language. However, in our world, because it's coming directly from the Creator, who is endless, there's the only way we can capture that light is to build a vessel that will be able to capture that power. Now, there are 2 ways we can access that power. One way, the simplest way, is the childish way. I want, I desire. Why? Because I feel like. I don't know if you realize, but children are terribly manic depressive. When they want something, they can cry like it's the end of the world, and when they get it, they can be excited like it's like this is the messianic era already. And they can go from one to another like in an instant. That's manic depressive. Thank God they're little kids, so it doesn't leave any too much traumas. But when you continue with this behavior that is called childish as you grow up, I want it because I want it and I don't care about anything and not about the consequences. That is childish. What's dangerous about it? Because when we want, we invite in the fulfillment of that want, which is called the light of wisdom. The problem is that in this creation, in this reality, every time we call in, we wish in the light of wisdom, it's fire. It's burning. So the bigger the ambition, the bigger the will, the bigger the manic depressive results, which means high and by. You can achieve greatness, money, power, fame, and the higher you rise, the lower you fall. Look of all the idols of our society. Let's go to one of the biggest of them all, Elvis Presley. Like, you just watch from a point of view of a psychologist. Like, you take someone from the country, he becomes so great, so famous, so rich, so powerful, and then you can see how he falls into that need to feel high all the time. Alcohol, drugs, women, like nothing, just the whims of the body, and it's like you are high and by, and you are in manic depressive stage till you burn yourself to the ground and you die. Marilyn Monroe, Michael Jackson. On one hand, huge talents, huge, awesome power. And then the demise and the destruction. You look at the same way of all kinds of empires of power, worshipping power, like the Nazis, being in total addiction. And you see the same thing, robbing, destroying, more power, addiction to power, and then going to addiction to drugs. The whole government of the Nazi government, all of them were taking huge doses of drugs. They will be killing themselves even before the Allies will destroy them. But the damage, what kind of damage? You can see that everywhere, how power gets people drunk. And then addiction to power, and with the built-in death and destruction that follows. How do we heal that? So here we have this parasha, the healing for humanity, the healing for each one of us, and especially when we are in such a very powerful time, experiencing huge forces of despair, pain, misery. It's all because of one thing. We are being brought up since we are little babies to be living in a society of addicts. We're addicted to brands, addicted to sugar, addicted to gluten. We're addicted to consumption of high through theme parks, movies, the internet. It's all around us. We are built like addicts since we are little babies, before we even learning how to crawl, how to think, how to speak. And you know how painful withdrawal is. Abraham realized that, and that's the message of this parasha, a revelation, VaYera. On one hand, we're addicted to revelation. We're looking for a revelation. Whoever promises us, let's do something, we get high. Music, trance. Why it's called trance? You want to transcend to another world that is all full of high enlightened power. And we're addicted just to the word power, any kind of power. Through materials we consume, things that we do, music, anything of power. What's the problem? It is killing you. Not softly, violently. Hatred. And hatred for someone else, it's also addictive. Because there's a false unity, and then the power of we hate the same kind of enemy, and we are right. And that people get blind till they're being destroyed. Okay? So what's the healing for that? And here what the Zohar is teaching us, the only way we can contain that awesome force that is called the light of wisdom, that force that makes us feel really alive, feel high. We were created to feel high. We need to feel high. However, the only way we can feel high without dying is we need to build another vessel for that awesome power. And this vessel is called light of chasadim. This is the light of grace, which means, what is chasadim? That's the energy revealed or created when humans go out of their way and they do something good for someone else. That power is called light of chesed, light of chasadim, or the chasadim, or the light of grace, of giving. So, let's go back to the story. And now we can understand the story much better. וירא עליו אדוני באלוני ממרא והוא יושב פתח האוהל כחום היום. So God reveals to Abraham. Abraham is this high, that no human being experienced since the fall of Adam. And why does he say kechom hayom? It's the heat of the day. Of course, you're hot. Abraham is hot, the day is hot. The light of Chokhmah, it heats things up. And when somebody is full of energy, when something's full of energy, what do we say? It's hot. Okay, music hits. It's all about hot. What's the problem? The hotter it became, the greater the fire that will come out. The bigger is the flare. So what do you do with that? So then all the sages tell us a tale. Abraham is in the middle of that revelation and suddenly he's anxious. Why? There are no guests. Because what was Abraham doing daily? Sitting in front of his tent, looking for guests. He was probably sitting always next to a major highway. Whenever people passed by, he would invite them in to feed them, to give them to wash their legs, whatever, just whatever they needed. He had this like moving in. And it says Abraham was really stressed out because it's a very hot day. No one is out there, so there won't be any guests. Hello? Abraham, you're doing it every day. Now you have a revelation, you have a prophecy no human beings experienced since the fall of Adam. Such an historical moment, and you're worrying about the guest? Yes. That was the revelation of Abraham. He is being revealed with that awesome power. And he knows if he's not going to generate the light of chesed, the light of giving, that's going to kill him. He knows. We're not talking about like something insane. We're talking about reality. That this is the message. So why is Abraham stressed out? There are no guests. If I'm not going to do something for someone, that awesome power is going to consume me. I'm going to go on fire. I'm a human being. I cannot just get. I need to give when I'm getting. So God is showing him the three angels. And Abraham is sure these are humans. What does he do? Remember, it's a very hot day. Abraham is 99 years old. He's on the third day after his circumcision, which is the most painful day. He has a lot of servants, and he himself gets up and he runs. It says, "Vayaratz likatam, vayishtachu artze." He runs towards them. He bows down to them. It's like, oh, these people came. This is my rescue. That's my SOS being answered. There's someone I can give to and save my life. So you understand? When you are into this quest of our society for getting high, and you forget that you get high, it will kill you unless you find a way to dedicate yourself. That's the covenant. To be there for someone else. What's the main pillar of the covenant? When you ask Hillel the elder, or a century later you ask Rabbi Akiva, and both say it's all about loving others as you love yourself. So we think, oh, what a nice, sweet concept. No. You want to survive? Do something for others. That will create the light of chesed, that will create the vessel that can contain the power, the energy, the life force that the Creator is showing to you, giving to you. Which means the only real vessel that survives whatever we do along our lives even when we die and move on to the next life. All the things that we think it's ours, like property, money, friends, family, nothing stays. Only the power that we generate when we do something for others. The light of chasadim, the light of giving. When this, although this is not light, it's a human action. Yes, but this human action creates a force that this force is the only legal, cosmically legal, says Rabbi Ashlag, vessel to contain the light of wisdom. So, you want to feel high? Great. You need to feel high. You want to experience hot, power, whatever, growth, greatness. You need to be developing that light of chasadim, because this is the only thing that stays, because it's the only thing that holds on the light of wisdom. How much light of the wisdom is there? Endless. Why? This is the light that emanates from the Creator. How much light emanates from the Creator? Endless light. How much is there for everyone? Endless for every human being. There's enough for all of us. How much you can hold on, preserve, contain, have it yours, have ownership on. Only the light of wisdom you can collect with the vessels you create, the light of giving. Can you imagine? It's like the bank is open. Somebody announces that in the neighborhood the bank is open, everything is open, the vault's open, everyone can come and take as much money they want. Okay? So some people run and they take money with their hands. Some people bring big pockets. Some others bring baskets. Another person will bring a whole car, fill up the car. Another person will bring a truck, which means how much you can take from the bank, as much as you can hold, right? You can have piles and piles and piles of money, but you can take as much as you can hold. How much can you hold of the light of the Creator? Only as much as you give. Every action, getting out of your comfort zone and being there, sensitivity to others, that creates that vessel. With that vessel, you can take as much as you want. That vessel stays forever. No one can take away from you. All the rest can be taken away from you, especially when we die. We can't take away nothing. Even a penny we cannot. They say in the shrouds there are no pockets. You can't take anything with you. And if you're present in an Israeli Jewish common funeral, the people take care of the funeral, the Chevra Kadisha. They stand in front of everybody just when a dead person is put to the grave, and they say, now in the presence of the whole community, we announce that you are fired. You're not a member of any association anymore, which means you're not a member in the association that is called the bank, or all the people registered in the real estate office or whatever. You have nothing to do with what's all the list you had. You had the list of your stocks in the market. You're not a member of that anymore. Your money in the bank, you're not a member anymore. All the people that are real estate owners in the government books, you're not a member anymore. You just go, you leave everything behind. You can't take anything with you. So what can you take? Only what you filled in the vessels that you created of all the chasadim. That is the story. So when Abram is running like crazy, and the story is very clear about it. Vaymeher, verse 6, Vaymeher Avram, and Abram is rushing to the tent, and he says to Sarah, fast, make 3 seim of, make bread. Okay, so, and there's so many, and then he runs to the cattle, and he takes a calf, and he gives it to somebody to slaughter and to make the meat. And then he rushes doing it. Until the calf is ready, he takes butter and milk and he feeds them. And there's so many verbs, and it's all in a rush. Why? There's so much light, you feel high, you don't want to get on fire. Do something for someone else. This is a story. So what does he get? All of that light is coming in of revelation. So you understand why Abram was stressed out. There are no guests. So much light is coming, and I have no vessels to hold that light. It's going to kill me. I'll be burned like in a split second. Doing something for somebody else. So when we feel we're going on fire, right now the world is going on fire. And why? Since the year 5780, the amount of power the Creator is injecting to the world are immense behind anything we ever knew before. And that light is, on one hand, people have more than ever in history. And people are dissatisfied like ever in history. The amount of people that take right now in the Western world antidepressants is soaring. Why? What's antidepressants? It's you take something to shut down the pain because you're going on the fire. Because on one hand, you're being brought up to want and want and want. I want this, and that's going to fill me up, and that's going to fill me up. And that is what creates the pain. This excruciating pain. You're being burned up to the stake that you created on your own. And the only way to calm it down, and not just to calm it down, to create a vessel that energy will stay in your life, is the light of Chesed. So, 3 weeks ago, a horrible things happened. When that horrible invasion of those barbaric demons from Gaza to Israel, doing all this terrible thing, and Israel was on the verge of collapse. That's part of that endless power that is shaking everything. The response of Israel was exactly like in Purim. When the decree came by Haman and the king of Persia to kill and destroy every Jew in the empire, 127 states from India all the way to Africa. And Mordechai is sitting there crying, and Queen Esther is standing to him and saying, "What are you doing? This is the light of wisdom coming, and it's burning us all. And the only way to heal that," he says, "Lech knos et kol hayodim." Gather all the Jews and make them share with each other. And what do? They share with each other. They give gifts to the poor. They give each other food. And they just create a huge party of giving to each other. What do? They create the light of Chesed. And what does that do? It becomes a vessel to hold on that immense, powerful energy coming in. The pain, says Rabbi Zechariah, was because the light was coming in, but there was no vessel. What was the result? Destruction. The killing of every Jew in the Persian Empire, that's all the Jews in the world. At that time, almost. How that healed? The Jews were giving to each other. What happened just that day? Few hours later, of that Shabbat Simchat Torah, when people around the country started to realize what's happening, single people, just people took whatever they had, the weapons, and they went into and gave their lives. And after that, the whole country became a huge factory of feeding each other, helping the ones who were hurt, helping the ones who were being running away from the place of danger, giving them a place to live, giving them clothes, all of that, feeding the soldiers. It's like hundreds of thousands of men got to the army within 48 hours, 300,000 men. Like, there's no precedence like this. Everybody happy, everybody supporting each other. And the whole people, you know, how are you going to feed so many people? The army cannot just jump and suddenly. So the whole country was busy feeding soldiers. It's all exactly like it said in the book. And what was the result? The whole thing was turned around. Balayla hu nadada shnat hamelech. And that night, in the book of Esther, the king could not sleep. What king? The king of the universe. The giving in the book of Esther, the giving that everybody was occupied by giving to others and sharing with others, the light of Chasadim that was created this huge vessel, that the light now could open your luck, wake it up, and the whole story turned around to redemption and the building of the second temple. And what's happening right now, you feel depressed, you feel upset, you feel scared. Get out of your comfort zone, do something for others. Like in a haste, like Abraham. This will calm down your pain. This will calm out your fear. This will calm down all the fire till you feel that you're connecting to another universe that is right now coming down to the world, that we humans must take it in and apply to it, because it's the universe in which we accept the idea you can't just take. You must have that value of giving, because the giving is what creates the taking. And that's why the end of the parasha is the binding of Isaac. What's the story of the binding of Isaac? Terrible story. You know, from the point of view of a child, as I grew up, this story scared the heck out of me. A father takes his son, puts him on the altar, takes a knife, he's going to slaughter his son. Wow, for me it looked like an Ingmar Bergman horror movie. All of these movies that were so dark and so heavy and so scary. And then I studied Kabbalah, and you realize what the Zohar is saying. What is Abraham? Abraham symbolized the giving aspect of every human being. What is Isaac? Isaac is the left column, the receiving aspect of every human being. And when Abraham is binding Isaac, and he wants to kill it, to kill him, to kill the side of desire. And a lot of people think so. You know, in order to be alive and spiritual, I need to shut down, denounce, detach my desires, because it's painful. Wrong. You're a human being. You were created to have joy. You were created to feel high. You were created to be ecstatic about life. However, only in one condition. That is bound by doing something good for somebody else. Abraham binding Isaac. The moment Abraham bound Isaac, and he was thinking he should give up any desiring anymore, that means that he was supposed to kill Isaac. Comes the angel of God and said, "You've done it. Binding him, that's enough. Don't kill the lad. Don't kill that youth inside you that wants to be excited and happy every moment. Doesn't matter if you're 99 or 137. You're here to experience high. You were created for greatness. One condition, you bind your Isaac. You have to bind your Isaac daily. What does it mean? You want it good, you want it big, no problem. How is that bound, conditioned by doing something for somebody else? You find that secret. You find the secret for safety, revelation, feeling high, feeling greatness, seeing reality the way it is, and not being manipulated by all kinds of forces around that they thrive on your fear. Thank you so much. Good luck with that.